Welcome back to Karis Investment, where investment are made simple. Guys, if you take a look at my screen right now, you're looking at Sensonics Holdings. For those of you guys who are with this channel since months ago, I've been pushing Sensonics from when it was dirt cheap. Now, we have profited in the last couple of months when it break that $5 per share. A lot of us made a ton of money. And if you got out when I tell you to, then definitely you're in the gracious period. Now, I have been telling you guys in the low $1 in the last few months. We saw in March when it was so cheap to buy and hold. Guys, it's looking like we will be going back to that $5 range very, very soon. Now, if we take a look back here, in the last 10 days, we can see Sensonics was trading just as any other stock. But as of last Friday, we have seen that the stock was below $2 per share, but then we saw a huge spike breaking $3 per share, and then we have a pullback, and then we saw another run Monday, which is today. Now, guys, if you weren't aware, this huge run was because of one thing. Absolutely, guys. This huge run is heavily due to the reports of the clinical studies was a success. If you weren't aware, now basically the CGM system, what they were trying to test out is basically a small operation that you can insert the sensors in the skin of someone who is suffering from diabetes. Basically, this system help you to continuously monitor your levels to make sure that if you need any assistance, you know before it's too late. Guys, I've been pushing this for so many months. Hopefully, you guys had gone in and bought some shares in the low $1 per share. Now, for those of us who sold and made a ton of profit when it rise above $5 per share months ago, this was still a great opportunity for you to buy back in with some of that profit and hold to go long term. Now, keep in mind, there's one thing I want you to remember as well. I'm not sure if you are aware, but Apple is also in works with another company doing something similar as Sensonics, because this is a key factor. As I mentioned in many, many videos, I made, I think, approximately 3 to 4 videos on Sensonics. I mentioned that a lot of people, especially in North America, have been suffering with diabetes, have been having a hard time to control how they can really take advantage of this situation. Now, this is a great company. They're in a unique space. There's a ton of opportunity for growth in this sector. Now, guys, just imagine someone who has been suffering with this. It's easy for them to be on top of things. Now, for example, if it's someone that's older, if it's someone that's younger, such as a child, you can monitor via an app. That means that the parents will know when their levels are rising, when their levels are dropping, to make it more easier for them to take care. Now, keep in mind, this is still a great price. However, and I say this, however, very strongly, we have seen Sensonics. If we look over the escape of a month or a year, we can see one thing in particular. Now, if we look back in December, anyone that jumped on board at any point from December to January was a winner, because at this point you had made a ton of cash if you sold in the early part of January when it crosses over $3. Then we saw a similar pullback. This is why I said, however, because we have seen that Sensonic crosses over that $3 mark, and then we have seen it pull back in the low 2s and 180s. But this is what's important. A lot of us made a ton of profit when it crosses over $5 per share. Some of us jump out at 540, some of us jumped out at 520. Personally, I got out in the 525 with some, and the remaining of the share I got out later. Now, I was able to buy back in when it was dirt cheap back on May 5th, and March 5th, I should say. I tell a lot of people, when we saw that the cannabis stock went down, EV went down, everyone, the market have a semi-crash, everything was dirt cheap. If you look at those videos back, I said, buy, buy, buy. Meaning we want to buy at these low prices and hold until you see the price that you want to sell. Now, if you did get in the low, I would say 130, 145. Now, you can easily keep your position, keep holding. Then we can see. Take a look back, guys. We saw back here in March 5th, we breaks that 190. We go all the way down. We saw back again in April, May. We go lower and lower. If you keep a note of the market is always telling us something. Back in April again, it kept going lower. And May 9th again, it kept going lower. So if you guys had buy as many shares as you could, then definitely it would have been a perfect opportunity, because right now we saw it breaks is the first news that it says the result was positive. It breaks $3 per share. Then we saw a small pullback. Obviously, it came back down in the 270s, and then we have a little bit of pushback to the 290. Now, great thing to know, if you take a look at the news here, you could see that, let's see here, this was on Friday. It says accuracy, strong accuracy of 180-day CGM sensor. So basically, this is when they reported that they have been success. I think the percentage was less than, I think it says less than 1% of any infection when they removed the CGM system. So this is a great news. If you guys want to know more about this report, please go ahead on their website. The information is listed under the investor and relations section. Basically, it says here Sensonics Holdings Inc., a medical technology company focused on the development and commercialization of the first and only long term implantable continuous glucose monitoring system. So basically, it is a continuous glucose monitoring system, so you can manage the levels of someone with diabetes. It's a small insertion that they put right beneath the skin. It could be done in a doctor's office. You do not need to do a surgery in an hospital. What's not, it can be done again in a doctor's office. So this is a very unique thing, and it's a long stretch, but I'm hoping to see one day, I would say in the next year, or say 6 months from now, if Sensonics will ever hit $10 per share. Now, I've seen we hit $5 per share, but will it hit $10 per share, or 15, or even $20 per share? Right? Those are the goals what I'm looking at right now, to see if we can cross that $5 per share first. Um, Obviously, we will have a pullback. I've seen it so many times with Sensonics, but we want to make sure once it crosses those goals, we sell a small portion of our shares, wait for it to pull back, and we buy more in, and then try to hit those goals one at a time. Again, guys, it is not a race. It is more of a marathon. Take your time. Everyone threshold is different. I can't tell you that you need to hold for $10 per share, or I can't tell you that you need to hold for 5 or even $20 per share. That's totally up to you. Me personally, I'm trying to hit $5 first and then wait to see if I could hit $10 and then go from there. But as I said, please do some research. Make sure you keep on top of these news. The main reason, as I said, why we see that 60 and that 46 to 60% rise in the price since last week is because of the reports of the trials that was done. The trials was successful. So that's why we start to see a movement in the stock price. Now, guys, hopefully that you guys are watching these videos. If you appreciate, please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you're in this company. If you're not, it's no biggie. But again, if you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. And then this will allow you to get more updates whenever I drop new videos. Now, in the past few weeks, as I mentioned in my previous videos last week, I was kind of busy doing a few other projects. Now that I have a week or two free, you can see the video starts coming out. Again, guys, I only make videos when I sell and buy. Obviously, with crosses $3, I made a small sell. I'm waiting to see if I could buy back in the lower twos. No, I still keep a significant amount of my shares, but again, I sell some, wait for a pullback, and I buy more shares so I get more shares into the company. Not recommending for you to take that chance. However, it's totally up to you guys. As usual, trade smart, do your research. If you're not sure how to do this, always speak to a financial advisor. But as usual, guys, peace out.